What if the future of cars isn't electric at all? While every automaker on the planet is rushing to build bigger batteries and faster chargers, Honda just did something completely different. They've built a car that doesn't need gas, doesn't need to sit plugged in for hours, and might even beat EVs at their own game. And here's the twist, they didn't do it alone. They teamed up with Nissan, their longtime rival, and with General Motors to create a machine that could flip the entire electric car revolution upside down. This isn't science fiction, it's real, and it's already rolling off production lines. Not too long ago, electric cars felt like something out of a sci-fi movie. Silent machines gliding down the road with no gas, no smoke, just plug in and go. Governments loved the idea. They started handing out tax breaks, cash rebates, and even set deadlines to ban gasoline cars altogether. Automakers jumped in head first. Tesla made EVs cool, Ford and GM followed, and suddenly everyone from Hyundai to Mercedes was pumping out electric models like the latest smartphone upgrade. But here's the thing nobody talks about. EVs aren't perfect. Those massive batteries need rare metals like lithium and cobalt. Digging them up can tear up landscapes, pollute water, and drive up costs. And when those batteries die, recycling them is still a massive headache. Then there's charging. Sure, fast chargers exist, but they're not on every corner, and fast can still mean 30 minutes or more of waiting. Try taking a road trip and watch how quickly range anxiety kicks in when you can't find a charger. And with everyone plugging in at once, power grids are feeling the strain. Some areas are already asking people not to charge during peak hours. EVs were supposed to be the flawless future, but under the shiny surface there are cracks, and that's where Honda saw an opening. Honda isn't just jumping on the hydrogen train today, they've been quietly building toward this for years. Back in 2015, they shocked the auto world with the Honda Clarity fuel cell, a car that ran purely on hydrogen. No gas, no plug-in battery, just clean power that turned hydrogen into electricity on the go, leaving nothing behind but water vapor. It was ahead of its time, and that was the problem. Hydrogen stations were rare, and unless you lived in California or a few spots in Japan, refueling was nearly impossible. Most drivers weren't ready to gamble on a car that might leave them stranded, no matter how futuristic it was. So Honda hit pause and shut down Clarity production in 2021. But they didn't walk away. They learned. They kept refining the tech, making the fuel cells smaller, cheaper, and longer lasting. And they watched as electric cars exploded in popularity, knowing their moment would come when the world started asking, what's next after batteries? That moment is here, and Honda is ready to answer. Meet Honda's comeback. The CR-V FCEV, the first ever plug-in hydrogen fuel cell electric vehicle you can actually lease in America. And here's what makes it different, it's not just hydrogen. Honda fused a hydrogen fuel cell with a battery pack you can plug in and charge at home. That means two ways to power your drive. For short trips around town, just use the battery and drive it like a regular EV, no hydrogen needed. When it's time for a long trip, fill the tank with hydrogen in about 5 minutes and go. No waiting at a charger, no range anxiety. And this thing isn't just clean, it's efficient. On hydrogen, the CR-V can go roughly 270 miles on a full tank, and the battery adds another 29 miles of pure electric driving. That's more than enough for most people's daily commutes without even touching the hydrogen. Underneath, Honda's new fuel cell system is smaller, more durable, and cheaper to make thanks to their joint venture with General Motors. And because it's built on the popular CR-V platform, it feels like a normal car, roomy, practical, and familiar. This isn't a concept car for a showroom, it's real and it's already hitting the roads. The secret sauce behind the CR-V FCEV isn't just the car itself, it's what's hiding under the hood. Honda partnered with General Motors to create a next-gen fuel cell system that's 66% cheaper to build and far more durable than the one in the old Clarity. That means fewer moving parts, lower maintenance, and a fuel cell stack that can last for years without breaking the bank. And unlike traditional EV batteries, this system doesn't rely entirely on massive lithium packs. That reduces the demand for rare earth metals, cutting costs and avoiding some of the environmental headaches that come with mining. Then there's efficiency. Fuel cells generate electricity on demand, meaning no heavy battery pack weighing the car down. The result? Better handling, quicker acceleration, and a driving experience that feels closer to a gas car but without the emissions. Honda's engineers also worked on cold weather performance, a weak spot for hydrogen cars in the past. The new system can start and run even in freezing conditions, something early fuel cell cars struggled with. This isn't just Honda dipping its toes back into hydrogen, this is Honda saying, "We've solved the problems that stopped this tech from going mainstream." Honda isn't going at this alone, and that's what makes this story even bigger. Earlier this year, Honda and Nissan announced a strategic alliance to co-develop next-generation EV and hydrogen platforms. Two of Japan's biggest automakers, usually fierce rivals, are now teaming up to share tech, cut costs, and speed up production. Why does that matter? Because partnerships like this mean hydrogen won't just stay a niche science project. When major automakers pool resources, infrastructure tends to follow. More cars mean more demand for fueling stations, and more fueling stations mean hydrogen becomes a real option for regular drivers, not just California early adopters. And it's not just about passenger cars. Honda is already working on hydrogen-powered heavy trucks, construction equipment, and even backup power systems for buildings. They see hydrogen as more than just a car fuel, they see it as a pillar of the energy economy. This partnership signals something bigger. We might be witnessing the early stages of a hydrogen revolution, one where multiple industries shift away from fossil fuels in one massive wave. If Honda and Nissan succeed, this could shake up the entire EV market. For years, Tesla and battery electric cars have dominated the conversation, but hydrogen could change the rules of the game. Think about it, no long charging times, no massive batteries that take hours to replenish, and no stress about grid overload. Hydrogen fuel cells create power on demand and can be refueled almost as quickly as pumping gas. That solves one of the biggest complaints people still have about EVs: convenience. This doesn't mean battery EVs are going away, far from it. But what it does mean is that we might be entering a world where we have two clean power options: battery electric for short, urban commutes, and hydrogen for long-haul drives, fleets, and anyone who doesn't want to wait around at a charging station. For automakers, this is a chance to break free from relying so heavily on lithium supply chains, which are getting expensive and politically complicated. For drivers, it could mean more choices, faster refueling, and maybe even cheaper prices as competition heats up. And for Tesla, well, let's just say Elon Musk has been famously skeptical of hydrogen. If this takes off, it could be the first real challenge to his vision of a battery-only future. Honda's new CR-V FCEV isn't just a car, it's a statement. It's Honda saying the future of clean transportation doesn't have to be one size fits all. Batteries aren't the only answer, and maybe, just maybe, the hydrogen dream isn't dead after all. The next few years will be crucial. If Honda and Nissan can get more fueling stations built, drive costs down, and prove this tech works for everyday drivers, we could be looking at the start of a true hydrogen comeback. So what do you think? Is this the future we've been waiting for, or is hydrogen still just too early to compete with EVs? Will Tesla finally face real competition from a completely different technology? Drop your thoughts in the comments, because this debate is just getting started, and the future of how we drive might depend on it. But this isn't just about one car or one company. What we are witnessing could be the beginning of a new era where hydrogen and hybrid solutions become the bridge between gasoline and full electrification. Think about it, a car that refuels in minutes like a gas car, drives with zero harmful emissions like an EV, and does not require the massive battery production that strains global resources. For drivers, this means freedom from long charging lines, range anxiety, and degrading batteries. For automakers, it means they can reuse much of their existing manufacturing infrastructure instead of completely reinventing the wheel. And let's not forget, Honda has been a pioneer in hydrogen technology for years, with models like the Clarity fuel cell. What we are seeing now is a refinement of that vision, more affordable, more practical, and potentially mass-market ready. The real question is, will the rest of the industry follow Honda's lead or double down on battery-only EVs? Tesla, of course, has been the face of the EV revolution for over a decade. Elon Musk's vision turned electric cars from a niche curiosity into a global movement. But here's the problem: if hydrogen and hybrid systems really take off, Tesla's entire business model could be challenged. Think about it, Tesla's value is built not just on selling cars, but on selling batteries, charging infrastructure, and the software ecosystem that ties it all together. If the future shifts toward a technology that doesn't rely on massive batteries, Tesla might find itself playing catch-up for the first time. And it's not just Tesla. Companies like BYD in China and Ford and GM in the US have invested billions into gigafactories for battery production. A major pivot toward hydrogen could mean billions in stranded assets, delayed product launches, and massive supply chain disruptions. But for consumers, competition like this is exactly what we need. It forces innovation, lowers costs, and gives us more choice. What we're seeing right now might be the start of the biggest shift in the auto industry since the invention of the electric car. Will hydrogen finally get its moment in the spotlight, or will it be crushed by the momentum of battery EVs? The next 2 to 3 years will tell us everything. If Honda and Nissan can prove this tech works at scale, and if infrastructure grows fast enough, we might be talking about a future where gas stations turn into hydrogen hubs and battery charging becomes just one of many options. So what do you think? Is this the comeback hydrogen has been waiting for, or just another passing experiment? Let me know in the comments, and if you want to see how Tesla might respond to this threat, make sure to subscribe because that's coming in the next video.